Here at GoPowercat.com, joined with Elijah Lee, former San Francisco 49er, current Detroit Lion. Let's start there before we get into why you're back here in Kansas City today. With the Lions, kind of give fans the scoop, the lowdown on kind of what you're hearing from the league and from the Lions as far as what the future holds for the players.
For right now, it's just virtual. I know they're taking their steps daily, but as much as you guys know, we know, we're planning on probably reporting in training camp, but, something could change, and, I can't tell the future. So
with those virtual kind of meetings and stuff like that, for college kids, there's a lot of stuff that they're still learning with the playbook and everything. How does that differ in the pros? What are your virtual meetings like compared to, say, some of these Zoom meetings that K-State might be having?
To be honest, it's probably not much different. There's new guys every year, so you have to take it step by step like you don't know the playbook. So you go through installs every day. You plug in, and then you get to a point where, at this time we would be doing OTAs and, doing installs. And then once we report back for training camp, we would start all over from the beginning, and it'd be like the second time, so it'd be going faster.
With regards to your free agency, I know the Lions were not the only team that was involved in pursuing you. Do you want to let the fans know any of the other teams that were so close to maybe getting you?
There's some interest with the Seahawks, the Jets, and Baltimore. But, I felt more comfortable with the Lions, and I felt like they wanted me more. So, that's kind of ultimately what had a big influence on my decision.
What do you like about the Lions? How do you feel like you fit in with their defense, maybe on the field schematically? Do you feel like, better opportunity for you? And do you think we'll see you at the same kind of style linebacker position you were playing with the 49ers?
With the Lions, they're multi-defense. So the thing I like about it is you never know what the defense is going to be. We can go from 3-4 to 4-3, all types of defenses. And, I'm still learning, so I don't know everything. I just know just the system that there's been a whole bunch of different types of defenses. So
Super Bowl, let's go back. And I know maybe not the best memory for you, but let the fans know just what that experience was like for you as a player, and obviously you as a player from the Kansas City area going against the Chiefs.
The experience, it was crazy, once in a lifetime. At one point it got mentally exhausting just because of the practice, the meetings, and we had media, and the day was kind of planned out. But, I don't take it for granted because not too many people get to say they were in the Super Bowl, let alone to play in one. So, and playing in it and being from Kansas City, it's a little bittersweet. You want to go for the home team, but at the same time, you're going against the home team, so it's all business. I'm happy for the city, but, at the end of the day, I wish we would have won it.
Do you still get nerves? Like, did you get nerves in the Super Bowl, goosebumps or anything like that? Or at your point in your career, are you kind of immune to some of that stuff, I guess?
For me, football is what I love and what I've always did. And if you don't get nervous before every game, I don't know if you're human.
With K-State, what's your relationship been like with this new staff, with Coach Kleiman? And, what did you like about what you were able to catch of them last year?
The program's going in the right direction. I've gotten to know Coach Kleiman and some of the other coaches pretty well. Just staying in contact with the guys that are there. The system they run now is what I ran in San Fran. So, I can relate. And if Justin, those guys have questions, I have more answers for the linebackers than I do for any other position.
Justin Hughes and Elijah Sullivan, what do you think that tandem could be like this fall?
It's a crazy tandem, They're like two peas in a pod. They're always together. They're actually at my house right now. So, it'll be a great competition. They played together in high school, so it'll be exciting, I know, to play against your high school buddy.
What have you heard from Elijah and from Justin, without sharing too much, obviously, but just about some of the aspects of this upcoming season? Any guys that you've heard them be particularly excited about?
Once we're outside of football, we don't get to talking too much about it unless I try to get competition between them. So we make little bets like push-ups or something like that to see who could do the best. And I told them they might as well make a push-up bet to see who gets the most tackles this year. And I kind of gave them my stats from whenever it was my last year. So.
Now, those were two current Wildcats. We saw you today coaching two future Wildcats, Bo Palmer and Nate Matlack. speaking about Nate, because he's a guy that seems to remind me a little bit of you coming out of high school, a guy that can play some DN, has played some linebacker in high school. What impresses you most about what you've seen over Nate this summer?
To be honest, probably say his work ethic, because at this time a high school kid can be doing whatever at this point in time, but he's been in here just as much as I've been in here, and while I've been gone training, he's been in here just the same amount, and he's getting work with Ryan and me. So our resume kind of speaks for itself, and that's the advantage for him. And
pros and cons maybe of his game. What do you feel like Nate maybe needs to work on? You've been at the college level. What's kind of that area that he should focus on, and what's maybe an area that you see from him that you feel like is above average for kids at his age, at his position group coming out of high school?
To be honest, I don't like the pros and cons type of thing. I like to let a kid to flourish and be what he grows into, what he wants to be, because, at the end of the day, everybody's game is different. One thing I do positive have to say about him, he's an athletic kid. He could play linebacker, he could play DN. He could bring that different versatility to the game. So that's a big pro. And, as long as you stay open to coaching and everything, the good things will come.
Last but not least, let the K-State fans know maybe when the next time they might be able to catch you in Manhattan. I know you try and get back every now and then, but schedule's kind of up in the air, so I realize that. But maybe, is there any idea maybe when you might be able to get back for a game or something like that?
Depending on, how our schedule goes in with their schedule, and if there's going to be football, nobody knows at this point in time. And I would hate to speak on something I don't know about. But, typically I try to come back on a bye week, and hopefully it's a home game. But if not, then, I'm always at the KU versus K-State game, or I have been the last 2 years, so I'm trying to keep that tradition going.